Tax day is a little over a month away, and cybercriminals are ready to take advantage. The rapid advancements in artificial intelligence have made it easier for scammers and harder for the public to know what's real and what is fake. To help you avoid AI scams and tax fraud, we welcome James Turgal, Vice President of Cyber Risk and Strategy at Optiv. James, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Great to be here, Dana. Thank you.
So how has the use of AI changed the landscape of tax fraud and IRS scams in recent years, maybe even in just the last year?
Yeah, the last few years have seen an explosion of AI-powered phishing attacks. Threat criminals are utilizing AI to automate tax fraud and identity theft, where they're actually generating thousands of fraudulent tax returns, IRS filings, utilizing stolen social security numbers that they've either found on the dark web or purchased off the dark web. They're also using this type of technology. There are actually threat actors who have created their own GPTs, right? Worm GPT, fraud GPT, utilizing that kind of technology to build their own threat actions and their own threat tools. So AI is truly being utilized in a number of unfortunately terrible ways.
Did you say they're actually filing false returns with stolen social security numbers? Because if so, considering all the federal government worker cuts, IRS was already behind going into this tax year. How do IRS agents even keep on top of that?
Well, so yes, they are. They're actually utilizing this technology to dump a ton of fraudulent types of forms, not just tax returns forms, right? W-9s, a number of different forms. Certainly the Internal Revenue Service has a number of automations that they've been able to use throughout the years in order to deal with the fraud, but it's going to be difficult. There always has to be a human element to this, to be the second check or the third check on that type of fraud.
Wow. Okay. So how do we tell the difference between legitimate IRS communications and scams in reverse here, right? If you're at home and you've either just filed or you're thinking about filing or whatever, how do people know, hey, this is not really from the IRS?
Well, I mean, people need to think logically about this, right? The Internal Revenue Service usually contacts you for the very first time by U.S. mail, right? They don't call you, and they will text you and they will email you, but only with your permission. People need to realize that guess what? An IRS agent is not going to call you and demand that you pay over PayPal, or he or she is not going to threaten to call the immigration system. They're not going to check your citizenship status. They're not going to ask you to pay in gift cards, right? So it's that kind of stuff that people absolutely need to understand that is not normal, and those are fraud.
Right, and so if there's a seed of doubt, check it out, right? I mean, that's what I always do, is like, this just seems weird, so I check it out, because you can check where the email is, the email address and that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely, right? Look at the email banners, right? If it's coming from a Gmail address, if it's coming from something other than irs.gov, right, then it's more than likely a scam. And there's a way to check, right? Phishing at irs.gov is a great way to check that. Also, because of the fraud out there, right, having been a career FBI agent, the Internet Crime Complaint Center at ic3.gov is a great way to report that type of phishing.
Great resources. James Turgal, Vice President of Cyber Risk and Strategy at Optiv. Thank you so much. Always good to hear all of this important information, especially as we head into tax season. Thanks.
Thanks, Dana.
You bet.